So, PTE test. Now I'm taking you to what happens with this test. What's special about it? Lots of interesting questions. We'll take them one by one. So what's special about it? Marks travel between modules. So let's say you're doing, you did read aloud yesterday, right? You did read aloud and repeat sentence. Now, if you do a correct read aloud, easy 8 points, they go towards your reading module. So if a student who's failing, let's say in IELTS reading, he gets an extra advantage because he just has to simply read a paragraph correctly, and if he does it, you get points for your reading module. Now say repeat sentence, you're listening and repeating and you're doing speaking. But if you're listening and speaking correctly, you're getting points for your listening as well, right? So you are performing actually a speaking test, but it is helping you in your listening, in your reading, in your writing. So marks travel in you. And that's why students, they end up getting 90 or 90. You know, in IELTS, it will be very hard for you to see a score of a student scoring 9999, right? They'd never do it because all the modules, they're independent of each other. Writing doesn't help listening. Listening doesn't help speaking. Right? Here, it is easier for that reason because marks travel. Correct? Now, what's the fuss about negative marking? This big fuss about it, but it's really not that important when we talk about 5 bands, 6 bands, to some extent even for 7 bands. This negative marking is actually meant for only and only the students who are working for 8 bands. So they want to be dead sure that a student's English language skills are really up to the mark, and that's why they have got negative marking to cross out weaker students. That's all, right? So don't worry about negative marking if you're working for 5 bands, 6 bands, 7 bands. 8 bands, yes please, this is for you. And you have to overcome the hurdle of negative marking, right? Okay, how many modules are there in it? Reading, writing, listening, speaking, all the 4. But they are so much intertwined that I've sometimes found that students who are not doing very good in their listening, when they undergo the writing module, their listening also gets better. And sometimes when the students are not doing too well in their reading, when they do the listening module, their reading also improves. Because the base of, or say the skeleton of the test is rested upon the same features. Right? The skeleton is the same, just the question types change. The real thing which they want to test you on, it's absolutely the same. Right? Okay, so is it really easier than IELTS? Look, I've taught IELTS as well, and I'd say PTE is easier. It's definitely easier. Only one thing, some students have found that they are faster and better at IELTS because they are more traditional in their way of learning. They feel more comfortable with a paper and a pen and an eraser and rubbing things off. And then some students are better at reading and finding rather than thinking and doing. So PTE is more of a think and do test. IELTS is more of read and write test. Okay, but yeah, I think it's definitely easier to score high points in. It'll be very unlikely for a student to score 8 in his first attempt in IELTS. But in case of PTE, we've had students who've scored 9 on 9. Like many times I've received phone calls from my students at 4 o'clock in the morning saying, do you know how much I scored? I said, 4 o'clock, tell me. And he tells me I scored 90 on 90. And then I remember another student who joined us in this very short course, and he was struggling to get 7. Now he got 9 straight away. So these things are possible in PTE. That way, really good. Is it an absolutely computer-based test? It is an absolutely computer-based test. So you have to read on the computer, answer on the computer, write on the computer, which means you have to type on it, not get a pencil and write on the computer, and then again listen through it and then speak to it. So all the 4 things, they happen entirely on the computer. That's there about it. But it's really still simple. It's not that complicated. Does one really need to have good typing speed to clear this test? Okay, if someone needs 7 bands, yes, your typing speed needs to be good. If you want 8 bands, yes, your typing speed needs to be good. If you're needing 5 bands and 6 bands, you can adjust. We can adjust. I mean, you know, we can still make you get through, no problem. But for 7 and 8, if it's not up to the mark, start to work on it every single day. Right? 20 minutes of typing is a must, right? So 20 minutes would be enough. Type 20 minutes every day, and no matter what band score you need, you should get up to it. Cool. But do it every day. Can I take notes in pencil? Yes, you can. Using pencil. You get an erasable notepad there, right? And you get a marker there, so you can write things and you can rub them off. So you're not allowed to take anything else except your passport to the examination center. But in the examination center, all you are allowed to use is that notepad which they have given you and a pen. So you can definitely make use of that. It is quite helpful when it comes to read a lecture, when it comes to summarize spoken text, so you can make notes, but not for everything. So for reading, you just have to click on one of the options. When it's writing, you just have to type. So you don't need it much, but yeah, you need it a little bit. And you're already provided, so you can't go saying, this is my best pen and this is my lucky pad, I want to take both of them inside. So you won't be permitted to. I've heard girls' voices don't get recorded. I've got this question a lot from students. Girls' voices are not getting recorded sometimes. What happens is, because it's a computerized test, and trust me, if you've never sit the test, at least in the speaking, has anyone of you sit the test? Yeah? What happens in the speaking module?
It's like everybody is speaking loud.
It's a fish market, isn't it? So it's like crazy.
It's bad like if somebody next to you is shouting, not like speaking.
Somebody can sometimes be shouting as well. That's true. That's true. So what happens is sometimes students get nervous when they get into that atmosphere. Like, what's happening here? Everybody's like, how am I supposed to get recorded that way? So in such cases, girls who are a bit, soft and very having a lighter tone, they miss out. Their voices sometimes don't get recorded, right? So that problem does happen. But luckily, all of you, I've seen you, your voices are good enough, they're strong enough. But I'm talking about girls like I had one of the students called Madhavi, and she had a beautiful melodious voice, I would just hear her and sleep, such a beautiful voice, and computer would not record her. But then we've got ways to get through it as well. So, there are still solutions to that problem if your voice is thin, because I've got student Rohini. She's got a thin voice, but she's got 90 or 90. And then again, the girl Ellie in this batch, in these lessons, she's got 84 or something. And then again, she's got a very thin voice, right? So it doesn't matter. There are ways to get around things. How much is the scoring out of? Out of how much? 90. Yes, you score out of 90. So that's clear. Any questions? All good. Okay, speaking module. Total time, 30 to 35 minutes, right? So you've got 5 question types. First one is read aloud, and you get 6 or 7 of them. In read aloud, you'll be given a paragraph, right? And you simply have to read that paragraph aloud to the computer, right? And how much time are you given? 40 seconds, right? You have to read it aloud within 40 seconds. So that's it, simple. And marks travel to your reading. Repeat sentence. Here you hear a sentence, right? And you have to repeat the sentence as such to the computer, right? And again, 10 to 12 sentences, but here you're given only 15 seconds. You're not given 40 seconds. So you have to repeat that sentence within 15 seconds, which is actually too much of a time. You don't need that time. To repeat a sentence, I think students hardly take 7 to 10 seconds. That's extra time given. Describe image. Here you're given an image, right? They could show you a picture, they could show you a line graph, a bar graph, a chart, just anything. And they would ask you to speak on that image for 40 seconds. Now you can get 5 or 6 of them, or is it 6 or 7 of them? You can get 6 or 7 of them. 40 seconds again, so you don't have to speak much. You just have to speak for 40 seconds. Do you realize how much is 40 seconds?
If we speak more,
you can't. It won't record you. It won't record you. No.
So if we didn't cover more things, though it will go. It will judge accordingly.
Yes, that's right.
There
so
is
what?
Like bar coming on, and
Yes.
the 40 seconds is complete.
Yes.
And you should start within 3 seconds. If you just go for 3 seconds, you gone.
Yes,
The
exactly.
microphone's
Exactly. So what happens is, there's an image in front of you, right? And they'll give you 15 seconds to observe the image, right? And after that, the bar will say beep, right? So it'll start off and you can see the blue lines moving there. So you know that you have to start speaking now and it has started to record you. So you have to finish up everything within that 40-second period, and after that, it'll automatically stop. So sometimes what happens is students who don't undergo a mock test, they are not aware of it, and they actually, sometimes the students who have sit a mock test with me, I can see that they either started late and this computer had stopped, or they have already finished half of the things and I'm able to hear only the other half. You know, these things happen quite a couple of times when students are not aware of the pattern. So good question. You have to finish things off within that 40-second mark, right? And it's not too hard though. It's not too hard though. Retail lecture, you can get 3 to 4 of them and you again have 40 seconds for them. So here you hear a lecture which won't be too long, again 40 to 60 seconds long lecture, sometimes 30 to 40 seconds long lecture. You hear, you understand, and you repeat it in your own words. Right, so that's it.
It's like summary.
It is like, yeah, you can say it's like a summary. So it's not that. When I say summary, it would be just 2 or 3 main points. But here you can say as much as you have understood. Right, so more you say, better it is. Right, so you can pick up the main points, right?
We
So
can
summary
use
would be one or, yeah?
Own words as well.
Yes, definitely. You can use your own words. You get, if you want 8 bands, you must use your own words. If you're waiting for 5, 6, and even 7, you can use the same words as a speaker used, and that will work.
But points should be same.
Yes, points should be same. Yes. So if I'm talking about tube light, you cannot talk about a bulb. Yeah. And so short questions. These are really nice and easy. If you are tired and you want to sit down on something, what would you use? You will say chair, right, or lounge. So just one word answers, and you get 10 of these questions, very scoring, and they count towards your listening as well. Right, so practically finishes in 30 to 35 minutes, but students, they try and finish it up in 25 minutes as well. They really don't take that long.
What we have to do in the read aloud?
Read aloud, you're given a paragraph, right? You have to read that paragraph aloud.
That's it?
That's it. That's it. Simple as that. Repeat sentence. So if I'm saying, why are you looking so anxious to me today? Repeat that.
Why are you being so anxious today?
And I said, why are you looking so anxious to me today? Right? So you just missed 2 words,
So
right?
the points will be deducted accordingly.
Yeah, it'll be deducted accordingly, but then you did really well. You did really well. So that's exactly what is done there. They'll speak out a sentence and they'll say repeat it.
This looks very easy.
This is very easy. This is very easy. Get 7.
What is a retail lecture?
What about retail lecture?
Yeah. What is in the retail lecture?
What is in the retail lecture? Okay, I'll tell you what is retail lecture.
Like when I given the
Okay.
give the summary.
Tell me, what did I tell you at this slide? Repeat. I'll give you 40 seconds. Repeat to me whatever you understood. Whatever comes to your mind, whatever you remember, right? And I'm giving you clues as well, right? So there'll be an image which will be related to what they have spoken about, and you can take ideas from the image as well, right? And then you have to just repeat what you heard. So that's retail lecture. Okay, so when I say repeat sentence, see, repeat sentence is repeating only one single sentence.
So
right?
we have an image as well? Yeah.
Yes.
For
They do provide you images, yes.
Okay.
They provide you images, supporting images, or additional supplementary ones which help you understand what you're hearing about. So something which is related.
But I didn't get it in the mock test yesterday.
You did, and I was surprised how you didn't use it. You didn't pay attention to it.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, I'll show you. And I was thinking, why didn't you use it? But then I thought maybe, he's not done the mock test in the past, so,
Yeah.
So, yeah. So when you do the next one, I'll tell you this. It was on my mind. I don't remember that. So what happens when it is a repeat sentence? You're repeating only one sentence, right? As it is. In retail lecture, it's like if I tell you a short story, okay, and I say, okay, tell me the story back again now in your own words. Right? So now you won't be, because it's not possible to repeat someone else's words when they are in a paragraph. Right? You can repeat one sentence or probably 2 sentences as they are. But if I say repeat everything in my own words, come on, you are not a tape recorder.
Yeah.
Right? You can't do that. So you have to understand what this person has said and you have to present it in your own words. That's the simplest way to do it. So that's a retell lecture. So it's a lecture which has to be repeated, right? It's pretty simple as well, not complicated at all.
Which module is most difficult?
Which module is the most difficult? Depends on the student actually.
Just not like.
Okay, any question about this one?
No.
All good? Can I move you to the next one? Okay, writing module. You get 50 to 60 minutes for writing. Now, you'd say writing is even easier than... Ask me which one is the not easy. Actually, all the four are easy, right? Summarize written text. You can get 2 or 3 of them and you have to finish one off in 10 minutes. So it's 10 minutes each, right? Here you get a paragraph. It can be up to 300 words. Read the paragraph and whatever you have understood from it, you have to write it in 1 sentence. So, in 10 minutes, you're expected to write only 1 sentence. That's all.
And how many words should be there in one sentence?
One sentence.
It can be anywhere from 5 words to 70 words.
One sentence with one main point.
Not one main point. You have to try. Here it is a summary. Here it is a summary. We want to cover up as many important points as we can.
No full stop in between the sentences.
Yes, only 1 sentence. So we don't want a full stop
You
anywhere.
can use commas.
Yes, absolutely. You
And
can use all the
connecting
punctuation
words
marks.
and how it
Yes, yes,
How many
yes,
words
yes.
did you say? 5?
5 to 75 words.
5 to 75?
Words.
Anywhere between 5 to 75 words. Okay? Anywhere between 5 to 75. So you can write. Okay. The students who scored 8, I generally instruct them. The ones who need to score 8 and the ones who scored 8, I've always told them not to go past 25 words.
Yes.
25, 30 max. Right? So for 5 and 6 words, you could actually try and reach up to, say, 40, 50, 60. That's it. Don't have to go anymore. So it's more of whether you have understood the crux of what you have read or not. It's not about the words, it's about the value of those words. So if you say apple and a pumpkin, right, which one's better? I say, oh look, apple, right? Would you say apple or pumpkin? Pumpkins is nice and big, oh, so heavy, and you can cook it so many times, isn't it? But still, apple is more nutritious. Right? So it's not about how many words you're writing, it's about the value of the words, and the information which is inherent in those words. Have you really understood what was important about that text? And that's what you need to learn. That's very important. I mean, the students who have not touched their 8 and had taken lessons or classes from different places, and when they came to us, the area where I found them weakest was here. You know, because when anyone joins us for guarantees, like I told you, they always undergo a test. And because they've been to so many institutes, I didn't have to teach them everything. So, you know, if you have already received lessons, and again, I put another lesson on top of the information which you have in your head, it really creates a clash. So if someone is already scoring 7 in 3 modules and needs 7 months, we wouldn't touch those 3. We just want to improve him in the area where he needs improvement. So that's easier, rather than pushing so much of information in the brain uselessly. Right? So yes, this is a ticklish area, right? Don't take it very easy. This is the smartest part of PTE. I wouldn't say the toughest, I'll say smartest part, right? This is clever. And this is the base of PTE. It is the same thing which comes to you in the form of retail lecture. It's the same thing which comes to you in the form of summarized spoken text. It's absolutely same. So this is the foundation, and by itself, this would be half of the PTE. If you understand this, you understand half of the PTE. That's how important it is. Okay, so you can get up to 3 of them, which will make it 30 minutes here. You get 1 essay generally, but it can be 2 as well, so 20 minutes here. Alright, so 20 minutes, 1 essay, not a big deal. So writing is really easy. And in IELTS, writing is something students hate. Yay.
I love writing in IELTS.
You do, how much did you score?
When I took classes from here, I scored 7.5 5 years back.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and last time I didn't got any classes and my son was there, so no practice. I got 6.5.
Yay, wow.
Because I'm the old school. I like prefer writing and
Yeah, I know. And with sir's classes, I've seen that jump.
Yes.
So
So we
Not
just
surprised.
get one topic for essay?
sorry.
We just get one topic? Or-
Yes, you get only 1 question, 1 essay
What
topic.
What if you get 2 essays? The time will be separated into essays.
So-
Yes,
Right.
that's right. So that'll be 40 minutes. So if you get 2 essays, you'll get 2 summaries. So that'll make it 60 minutes.
Okay.
So you won't go any more than 60 minutes
So we'll
writing.
get summary for essay as well.
No. So essay, there would be 1 essay and there'll be 2 summaries separately. Or there'll be 2 essays and another 2 summaries separately. Right? Okay, let's see how much, if you guys are not running late, I'll show you what the question paper looks like quickly. Okay? So that will give you a better idea. Any questions from the writing module?
Just 5 minutes left.
Okay, reading module. So you've got 32 minutes to 42 minutes max for finishing your reading off. Now see, when it was writing, it was individually timed, right? So you would not be allowed to write any more than 20 minutes in an essay. The computer will stop responding, right? When it is a summary and you're typing and you think, I haven't finished, I want to write more, computer will stop responding after 10 minutes of time, right? So when it says 10 minutes, you must finish it in 10 minutes, otherwise you're going to leave it incomplete. But when it comes to reading, there is a total time. Questions are not individually timed. It's up to you how much time you spend on each question, right? Which makes things harder actually, right? So you have to be self-controlled, self-conscious and self-dictating as to how much time you want to spend on each question type. So you get 5 different question types in reading, right? First one is MCQs, choose single answer. Now when I say first one, please don't think it always comes first. Sometimes fill in the blanks come on the top, right? The test starts with fill in the blanks, which is actually lucky. And sometimes it can start with MCQs, right? Say this middle thing, reorder paragraphs generally stays in the middle. So it's these 2 which shuffle around. Okay, multiple choice, choose single answer. What happens here is, you must be knowing that since you're coming from arts. There is a paragraph, you read the paragraph. Now, in IELTS, they don't give you options, right? You have to find the answer. Here, you are given 4 options and they say, tell us which one is the correct one, right? So if nothing else, at least guesswork can work, all right? Because options are already there. And many times, 5 students have got their MCQs correct and I'm like, how did you do it? They're telling me that, oh, I guessed. I said, okay, fantastic, it worked. So you have to choose only one answer here, correct?
Out of the paragraph.
Not out of the paragraph. So try to visualize it. There is a paragraph. Now, there is a paragraph and below the paragraph there are 4 options given to you, and then the question says select the correct answer on the basis of this question.
Okay.
So you have to choose only one option, correct? Now MCQs, choose multiple answers is same format, but they'll be saying choose 2 options which are correct, right? So it somehow can come closer to your yes, no, not given in ours. You know, which 3 statements are true or which 2 statements are true, right? So there are statements and you have to match them from the text, that are they actually same or different, right? Got it? Okay, reorder paragraph. So this is quite similar, right? Not much different. Reorder paragraph is fun, right? Here what happens is, it's more like there is a paragraph and they have shuffled the sentences of the paragraph up and down. And now they're saying, create the correct sequence in this paragraph, right? So this is really nice and easy. It's not reading test ideally. It's fun test. Okay, reading, fill in the blanks. Here you get 4 or 5 of them. What happens here is, they'll give you a small paragraph and they'll give you 5, okay, if there are 5 blanks, they'll give you 7 options. If there are 6 blanks, they'll give you 8 or 9 options, right? So they'll give you the options, you just have to see which option goes in which blank. So they'll give you the answers, right? But they'll give you 2 or 3 extra answers. So you just have to pick up the right one, put it in the right place. Pick up the right one, put it in the right place. Got it? Easy. Now, reading and writing, fill in the blanks, they're slightly longer, right? And here there is a drop-down list against every blank. So you click on the drop-down list and each blank will have 4 options for it and you have to choose the correct option. Again, the answer is there. You just have to choose it. So it's more of a choice test. If you're good at making choices, that's a perfect test for you, right? So this is it. So ideally, MCQs, fill in the blanks and reorder paragraph. Only 3 things in reading, right? Any questions? No? Okay, the last module, the listening module. Now, what happens here? So, oh my God. Listening has a lot of subtypes. It has a lot of subtypes and it's very confusing. Sometimes students get confused between listening and writing modules, right? So don't look at it, just listen to me so you're not you're not much confused, right? It's got two sections, okay? There are two parts to it. First part is 20 to 30 minutes depending on how many summarized spoken text you get, right? So if it is 2 summarized spoken texts, it will be 20 minutes. If it is 3, it will be 30 minutes, right? Here what happens is you hear a lecture, again like a retail lecture, you hear a small lecture and on the basis of what you have understood, you have to type the information down. So in retail lecture, you repeat it verbally, right? Here you type it, right? Understand the difference? Okay, so it can go up to 3 and then very scoring, very scoring. That's why it's a complete section in itself, right? It's very scoring. Now, section 2 can again be between 23 to 28 minutes, but to be honest, many times they make it 19 minutes and 17 minutes as well, and the test goes very fast. This is individually timed. These are not individually timed. It's up to you how much time you spend on which question or how quickly you attempt it. Now, multiple choice, choose multiple answers. So you hear a little information and you have to choose 2 answers or 3 answers on the basis of that. In the next one, okay, let's cover up this one. You've got multiple choice, choose multiple answers, and then similarly, multiple choice, choose single answers. So you have to listen to the information and choose any one answer which is correct as per the information you heard. Right? Now, fill in the blanks are dumb and easy, right? Anyone working for 5 bands, this must go right, and this really goes right. What happens here is, there is a paragraph written in front of you, and then
So fast, man.
you have not got the lesson for it yet. Attend the lesson and you will say, I can do it. Because you're waiting for 6, the students who worked for 7 bands and attended the lesson, they're doing perfectly. You know, these lessons are, touch wood, they're a grace of God. I'm so happy they came about. They're really helpful. So what happens here is, you've got a paragraph in front of you and there'll be 4 or 5 words missing, right? And then you hear an audio and they'll be speaking out those 4 or 5 words. You know, somebody would be reading the whole paragraph to you, and those 1, 2 or 3 words, not one, there'll be 4 or 5 words which he'll be speaking while he's speaking the whole paragraph. So you have to catch that, okay, this is the one which is missing here, this is the one which is missing, this is the one which is missing.
You have to speak.
No, time. You have to write it down. So fill in the blanks. They appear on the screen because it's a listening test. I really want to show it to you. So give me a few minutes, you know, tell me what's running a bit late. So what happens? So picturize a paragraph in front of you, okay? And picturize 5 blanks in it. 5 blanks, right? Now picturize me speaking the whole paragraph out aloud to you, right? And now the blanks which are missing, I'm going to speak them out. So you have to just pick those up when you're hearing and then you have to type them down. Got it?
Like the thing happens in IELTS as well,
Yes.
where the listening test is. Yeah.
First few questions are similar.
What I'm
Similar,
hearing.
Yeah, first few questions are similar. But I'll show it to you. This is easier.
Yeah.
This is easier. This is far easier because there it could be more than one bit of information
Because
which you
there
need.
was a whole paragraph like 2, 3, or sometimes they give a diagram or something like that.
Yeah. No,
But
this
this
is much
one is
easier.
like a lecture.
This is still much easier. I'll show it to you. Give me a few minutes. I'll show it to you. Now, highlight correct summary. Here you listen to a lecture and they have given you 3 summaries from it and you have to choose the correct summary. Right? You just have to see that, okay, what I heard relates best to this particular summary. You have to click on it. Select it. Right? Now, I've explained you this one already. Select missing word. This is a terrible one. This is again for 8 bands. I know, I remember your performance from the mock test too. So what happens here is you hear a small, a very small account of something, and at the end, one word would be missing. Only one word, and you have to guess that word. But before that word, they'll say "tree," and you wake up and you forget what you heard, and you can't concentrate on the answer. So actually, for 8 bands, and I'll show you this one again. Highlight incorrect words again. 5-6 bands, very important. Here, there is a passage in front of you, and then somebody is going to read that passage aloud, but he's going to speak 2-3 words incorrectly, and you have to catch which words are replaced or are not correct in any way. Right, that's it. Write from dictation, very scoring, very important for 5 and 6 again. Here you hear a sentence, like a repeat sentence, you repeat it verbally, right? In here, you have to type it. Whatever you heard, you have to type it down, and it can be up to 4 sentences, right? Everything clear till here? Okay, now let me quickly show you the actual tests. Okay, I'll come back to this. Let me. Okay, I'll have to make it blank for a minute. Okay. Yes. Okay, let me show you the speaking one first. Okay. So you're given a headphone like that, and in the exam you have to record yourself, then play it back here. Okay, play it back and hear whether you're able to hear yourself correctly or not. The computer is going to identify your voice, right? So when the computer identifies your voice, you can check whether I'm getting recorded well enough or not. So you'll go to first record button and you'll say something. Okay, so it'll get recorded in here. After that, say playback. And then you can hear that yes, the recording is sound enough, computer is recording me properly, which means everything's good. So you can start the test and you have to press next here. Correct? So you, after checking the microphone, we go next. So here it says recorded answer. Actually, somebody's test is in here. It's going to show you that you'll have 30 seconds to read it or 40 seconds to read it sometimes, depending on how long the paragraph is. So here it's saying that, see how the time is decreasing? So this is the time when you can read it and practice reading it correctly, right? Now you will hear, is the volume up? Let me check the volume. I'm sorry. Coming back. Did you hear that sound?
Yeah.
It means the computer has started to record you. And if you don't speak to the computer, till 3 of these bars appear, it won't record you. So you have to be quick. As
What
soon as
if
you...
we start at the beginning and we start in between?
No, you can't. Okay, if you finish in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. So let's say you've already finished recording when it is still here, right?
Yeah.
Then what you do is
Next.
press next immediately. Immediately, very important, because we don't want computer to record your pauses. Your pauses means your fluency is coming down, right? So we don't want to do that. Just press next. So again here, because it's a very small paragraph, you're given only 20 seconds to read it. That's why, and the time is decreasing, which means this is the time for you. Keep an eye here, and then as soon as you hear that ting sound, start to speak aloud. Correct? And as soon as you finish it, press next.
Mama, actually I'm asking you something else. While describing the image,
Yeah.
once you start speaking,
Yeah.
and what if we stuck in between and we stop for 3-4 seconds?
Like they have a pause. Like
Yeah.
if you
If you're getting stuck,
Yeah.
well, it means we have not done a good job. Why should you get stuck?
I'm just asking you.
I wouldn't prefer that. I'll tell you ways where you have to overcome it, right? We don't want you to do that. Sir is saying you need to get 7. Come on. No, that shouldn't happen, and that won't happen. You just have to know what to do and how to do, and that won't happen. That could possibly happen with someone who's not got trained and who's in front of it and doesn't know what to do and then stops after a while. But once you know what to do, you should be good enough. Okay, so we'll work upon it if that's a problem, right? So see, you can see the number of questions here. This is item number 4, right? And how many paragraphs do you get? Up to 6, right? So see how we are going. Now it's finished. Number 8. So we got 7 of
Professor
them.
Smith will be late for today's lecture.
That was a repeat sentence. You heard a sentence and you have to repeat it. Now it's actually recording me saying all this. So I had to actually say that Professor Smith will be late for today's lecture, right? So whatever sentence you heard, you have to repeat it. Simple. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood? There?
Yeah.
Or you want to see another one? Okay, look at the next one. It's beginning in 3, 2.
The circulation desk is located on the ground floor.
That's right, that's fine, pretty good, very good actually. So what I wanted you to observe was you hardly get any time to repeat the question to yourself, to repeat the statement to yourself. It immediately starts to record you as soon as that finishes. So you have to be really quick. Right.
The accent matters if we try to change the accent.
Well, if you can change it, great, go for it. But make sure you change it and it's consistent all the way. Not that initially it is a bit American, then it's a bit Australian, and then at the end when you're confused, then it's Indian, and then finally, I heard one,
Better stay on Indian.
I checked one mock test and this guy, he started to speak Punjabi in the middle of it. I was like, I don't know what he said, but he was like, कहाँ से आ गई ये सड़ी हुई image? क्या बोलूँ मैं इसका? Yeah, I know. He was like actually talking Punjabi. Okay, so that's repeat sentence. These are all repeat sentences, and you can see up here that its time is decreasing.
We will divide the class into 3 discussion groups.
So yeah, we wouldn't worry for that. So repeat sentences are these, and you get 10 to 12. That's an image, right? And now it's saying it's starting in 21 seconds, so it's going to give you 15 to 20 seconds to look at it, right? So as soon as 15 seconds get over, it'll start to record you. So that's the time you have to understand it, right? So you have to kind of do quite a few images like that, right? Now this is retail lecture.
There once was a time in American history when the thought of women working for complex, multinational technology companies, giant advertising firms, and massive publishing houses was snickered at behind closed boardroom doors. Today, women are running those companies from some of those very same boardrooms. But although women make up almost half of America's labor force, as of 2005, only 8 Fortune 500 companies have women CEOs or presidents, and 67 of those 500 companies don't have any.
Too boring. Anyway, see, you get a picture? I'm just going to start again.
There once was a time in American history when the thought of women working for complex, multinational technology.
Anyway, it's going to happen everywhere. I will just keep it short. But that's...
Who would you consult to treat a fear of crowded places? A philosopher or a psychologist?
So, they're giving you options and asking you to choose the right one. So, if you're afraid of busy places, who would you like to see? A psychologist, right? Rather than anyone else, rather than philosopher. So, you have to just say one word or 2 words to the computer. And in the previous one, you saw that there was a picture, there was a graph associated with the lecture. And the lecture can be anywhere from 1 minute, 1 minute 20 seconds, right? And you have to repeat it in 40 seconds then. It can be a summarized version of it in the ideal form actually, you're right. Cool, understood what this is? So you'll get 10 of these. This is the speaking test. Clear about it?
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll take you to the writing one next. I'll take you to the writing one next. I'll show you the next one, the writing one. See, this is a passage now, okay? You have to read this passage and you have to write it down here in anywhere from 5 words to go 50 max. Okay, so you can type it, whatever you want to do, right? And you are allowed to cut and paste. It gives you the option to cut, copy and paste. So I could actually, pick up information and not from here, from what I have written. Oh, come on. I can copy it and paste it. So you copy it and I will go here and I'll say paste. Alright, so it gives you the option to do that and see how the time is running down. Can you see it here, 9:16? Because you're given only 10 minutes, you have to finish it off. Now you're getting 1, 2 of these and here is your essay. And you have to type your essay here. The word count comes here, so you have to keep track. Try and finish at least 200, try and write at least 200 words. Okay, so you've got your words here and then timer is running here. Correct? Understood what the writing thing is like? Yeah?
We have to make paragraphs or no?
Yes, definitely,
4
definitely.
paragraphs?
Entire, yes.
It's like IELTS, similar.
Wait,
Is it like
this
task
is,
two?
I'm not, yeah, this is like normal essay, right? But
Like task 2?
here we are not discussing how to write an essay. You're understanding what the thing is, right? So let's concentrate on the right thing. You understood that you have to write an essay and then you have to make paragraphs. Now, how many do you have to make? That's a big question. That will depend on the question type. That will depend on your advanced core requirement. That's something we'll cover in the
Like we
lesson.
have to start with the introduction and end with conclusion.
Absolutely. Essay means introduction,
Same
conclusion, body paragraphs, yes. But how many, how much, what to write, all that would get covered in the lesson. Okay? Alrighty, I'll now take you to the reading module quickly. Look at the reading module. So you see here, this is a paragraph. Can you see this arrow going around?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So this is a paragraph and now it says only one response is correct. And on the top it says multiple choice, choose single answer. You have to choose any one, right? So let me say that this is correct. It will get highlighted, right? Once this is done, I move to the next question, right? I'm going to read it, again choose single answer. Same thing happens. Choose multiple answers. Here I'm going to read the question. I'm going to take any 2 or 3 or 4, whatever I think is right. I'll click that many numbers. So here again, same thing. You can click. See, it's as simple as that. You don't have to do much typing. This is your reorder paragraph. So if I say this is the first sentence, I'll place it here. That's my second sentence. I'll place it here. Third, fourth, and fifth. Yeah, that's. So what I did was, this was the source and that was the target. I had to decide what should be the first sentence, second sentence, third, fourth, fifth, right? All of yours were wrong in the test yesterday.
What about me? My one was right. You check me.
I said you need to come in the evening
Not even
time.
a single pair? Not even a single pair?
कुछ तो ठीक होगा.
Okay, one pair was correct.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, yeah, that's.
And let's go for that, right?
Yes. Okay, look here. So this is reading fill in the blanks. Options are written here, blanks are here, right? So I have to choose which one goes where and I'll choose it, right? So it goes here or, this one goes there. Correct?
Yes.
So this is your fill in the blanks. And this is your reading and writing fill in the blanks. So here I have to press on this and I have to choose, let's say this is the correct answer. I'll just have to click on
We're
it.
choosing the right answer.
Illusions.
You know what? I kind of learned them up. So that's how this finishes, right? This is a reading test. Now I'll take you to the last one, which is the listening one. Here we go. Okay, listen to it. It's exactly like read a lecture. You hear a small lecture and then you have to type whatever you've understood from it.
One of the problems with primary teaching is that you are expected to be a jack of all trades. As you are aware, this is quite unrealistic. Very few people are equally good at music and English and science and art and maths and PE. Increasingly, specialist teachers are
Okay, so all I was trying to show was that you get time and then you have to hear after this it will start. When it comes to 0, the recording will start and you have to type your answer here. You can cut, copy, paste and you have 10 minutes to
One
type.
of the problems with
Cool. You have 10 minutes to, I was trying to be faster than this guy. So,
And we can take the notes of.
yes, you can take notes. Yes, definitely. You need to take notes here. Absolutely. Yes, right. Now here, you'll hear a lecture again and you have to choose any 2 or 3 depending on what you've heard.
In today's session, I'd like to start out.
Right, so that was this. Now this is fill in the blanks. Now you see, he's going to say exactly what is written here and the missing word.
Thanks for making the time to come and see me. As you know, there are a couple of things I think we need to discuss about your progress in the course.
Yes, I know. I'm glad you could make the time.
Not a problem.
Same thing, okay?
Capital or small?
No, not capital, because mine is on caps lock, sorry. There it won't be. So you hear and you have to choose the correct summary. Your summary was correct.
Thank you.
Okay, and that's very important. It counts towards your reading as well. So here you listen to something and you choose only one correct answer. And here again, one correct answer. No, missing word. Listen to this. This is fun. The beep, right?
As Asian culture becomes more popular in the United States, the ancient Chinese method of creating a harmonious environment, feng shui, is also gaining ground. Feng shui literally means wind and water. Its roots are 5,000 years old. Feng shui seeks to promote prosperity, good health, and general well-being by examining how energy, qi, flows through a particular room, house, building, or garden. Feng shui considers yin, feminine and passive energy, and yang, which is masculine and hot. It also looks at the 5 elements: water, fire, wood, metal, and earth, and the external environment. The points on the compass with 8 separate directions, north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, and northwest, are also in.
Okay, that's the deep. And now you have to think, how will the sentence get complete in the best possible way? Okay. Understood what it is?
Problematic or
Well, you haven't had your listening lessons yet, so it's okay. Okay, highlight incorrect words. You just have to check which words are different, right? So let's see how it goes. Let me quickly show you this.
The UN Charter comprises a preamble and 19 chapters divided into 111 articles. The Charter sets forth the purposes of the United Nations as the maintenance of international peace and security, the development of friendly relations between.
You understood what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that was easy. Now look at this.
There was little available evidence to contradict his viewpoint.
So there was. Exactly. Just type it down and this is it. You'll get 4 of them. Alrighty? And Eric, get done the listening module and you're clear about things now? Right? So go slideshow from current slide. Okay, last thing. How to make the best use of this course. This is very important slide and it's okay if it's come at the end though. See, you remember what you revise, okay? You don't remember what you hear once. You remember what you heard second time, right? Or maybe third time also. Let's say I'm giving you the directions to reach Parramatta Station from here, right? You heard me once and you understood a bit like, okay, first left and then right. And after that, you didn't get it quite right. If you hear me second time tell you the directions, it'll get better, right? And when I tell you third time, it'll get perfect because everybody's got different learning capacities. Sometimes, I would say not everybody can really understand 100% in the first go. But you can get up to 60% or 70% in the first go. And what is missing can always be learned in the second go, right? So revision is extremely important, right? If you can, after the lesson finishes, go home or, right here itself, just quickly look through what you have revised. Because revision works best when it is done right then. So if you think, okay, I've written everything down, I've understood the lesson, I'll revise it tomorrow. First thing, that tomorrow won't come. And second, by tomorrow, a lot of things would look like, what did the teacher say about this one and this one and this one? You would have forgotten because there's been a research and I was reading about it. It said that a person, and any normal person, right, remembers 60% of something till 2 hours. Right, till 2 hours time, and after 2 hours are over, he remembers only 40%. By next day, it reduces to 20%. And if someone tries to remember something after a week, he would hardly remember anything. Right? So revision must be made as soon as possible. So as soon as the lesson gets over, try and revise it right then. Okay. Now, after the course gets over, please try and revise the course again. Say if it is 6 bands, right, or 7 bands, second revision of the course would be very beneficial to you because when you'll hear everything second time, you'll be ahead of me. Like let's say the lesson today, I was ahead of you because I was teaching you things and you were following me. When you listen to the same lecture tomorrow, let's say, you would know things and you'll be ahead of me and you'll be checking. So when I'll say the first sentence, it'll automatically pop up in your brain, and when I speak it out, you'll just be double checking yourself. And if wherever there have been gaps, they'll get filled up, right? So either it is revision after the course or it is revision of the entire course. Revision is very important. So say in this orientation course, in all my lessons I like to give a Guru Mantra, but here for orientation, the Guru Mantra is you use what you revise. Okay, lay a lot of emphasis on revision. Right? What you revise is what you remember. Okay, so practice under guidance. I found that, and that's the reason why we have inbuilt practice in these lessons. Because when students practice on their own, they give themselves their own sort of logics and they convince themselves that, okay, I thought this answer is correct, but the other answer is correct, and it must be for this and this the reason, right? Even though that reason is not correct. So when you practice under guidance, what happens is what you don't know comes to you. And when you know what you don't know is when you improve, right? Not when you give yourself your own sort of reasons, right? Okay, let's say my writing is 6.5 just because my spelling is not right, and that's your own decision. Probably there's something more to it, right? So guided practice is very important. Again, the practice which I'm giving you in all these lessons, this practice is good enough for scoring 9, right? It's right up to that level. So if you cannot practice anything else, just repeating the lessons and ensuring that you are going 100% in your revisions is going to be sufficient enough, right? So I wouldn't really recommend any extra practice otherwise, but just repeat the lessons and you'll make sure, or it'll be ensured automatically that you've got everything 100%, right? So just don't depend 100% upon your own decisions unless you've got the facts right. Don't give much gap between preparation and the exam. This is a big thing as well, because say you finished your course at the end of this month and you're sitting your exam after another month, right? You'll forget half the things, right? We don't want too much gap. So if there is time between your exam, please continue to repeat the lessons so that the revision continues and you're not out of touch, right? So that's very helpful as well. Enjoy the learning time. Okay, look, we want to make it the best experience for you, right? We want you to, this boy Himesh, right? He said something very nice. He said, I've always been to schools and colleges and unis and everything, but I was always excited about coming to your place. I used to be thinking, what am I going to learn today? What is she going to teach us today? So I was excited about learning, right? So I've been very excited and enthusiastic, right? I've tried to teach everything I could. So I'd expect my students to be as enthusiastic in receiving that knowledge from me as well. Okay. So I hope you'll enjoy lessons. Don't take them as a burden. And if any part of the lesson looks burdensome to me, not to me, to you, you have to just let me know. Just 1 minute, Vishnu. You just have to write that down for me, that this part of the lesson looked hard. Because if something is hard, it's my job to simplify it for you, right? And I'll make you another lesson which is simplified. Cool? All right. Thank you very much for attending the orientation session. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take them. Thank you. You go away now. You're not done. All righty. Thank you very much.